Welcome back to Call Me Old Fashioned, where we talk everything whiskey, bourbons, and of course, old fashions. Today we're going to be going over some whiskey drinks. We're also going to try a couple bottles. Really, we're just going to hang out and get drunk. I mean, that's kind of what these streams are for. So let me know who's in the chat. Go ahead and let me know where you're coming from. And then, yeah, let's kind of dive in. I've had to wait like all day to like actually drink, so a little bit excited. So we'll go ahead and dive in. Obviously, the first one we're going to do is an old fashioned, right? You can't start a different way, right? So if you guys know, we always start a little bit of simple syrup, and then we go in with some bitters. I don't have my normal bitter today. Right now we have orange bitters and just the regular bitters. Normally I rock with like the spiced cherry bitters from Woodford's and then the orange bitters from Woodford's as well. They're just a little bit better. So got a half ounce of the simple syrup in there. No, we didn't make our own. We just store-bought, you know. Just a couple dashes. And then we're gonna rock with, for this old-fashioned, some Elijah Craig. This one's just a regular small batch, 94 proof, nothing special. But, you know, when you make an old-fashioned, you don't have to have the best of the best every time. Obviously, you guys can tell I'm not at my normal office space. I'm at a buddy's house. So we have his setup going and a little bit of his bourbon. So, you know, beggars can't be choosers here. Obviously, 2 ounces of bourbon. Really, at this point, if you guys are on this channel, you don't know how to make an old-fashioned, go back and watch a few of the other videos. Maybe the chocolate one, hit different. For me, obviously, when I make an old-fashioned, I always like to chill it beforehand. I don't know why. I saw a bartender do it once. He made me a really good old-fashioned. Ever since then, I've always done it. So it just, maybe it's part of the experience. And then, of course, cherries. I mean, really, if you're not drinking an old-fashioned for the cherry, what are we doing? The one thing that is hard about making these videos, you're not in an actual kitchen or an actual bar in this case, so you gotta be careful because we don't even have any napkins on hand. So if I spill something, it's going down. Whenever I make an old-fashioned as well, I'm also adding a little bit of cherry juice. I like my cherries. That's a good old-fashioned. Well, I mean, really, when you make an old-fashioned with Elijah Craig, you really can't make a bad old-fashioned. So, I mean, really, an old-fashioned is just bourbon, sugar, and bitters. We'll get that cleaned off a little bit. All right. So we have the old-fashioned done. Now our producer on set, they want a whiskey sour. So that's kind of his go-to whiskey drink at the moment when he's not drinking old-fashioned. So I figure we go ahead and make him one. You know, he's kind of managing a little bit of the camera. So I figure let's get him drunk so he doesn't complain about what's not popping up. Let me get these off as well. All right. We got some maraschino cherries, some sour mix. We're going to switch it up and we're going to be using some just regular bourbon whiskey from Colorado. Where is your cup? There we go. Now, I always want to disclaim everything besides old-fashioned. I know how to make a mean old-fashioned, but everything else, I'm not like experienced as like an old-fashioned. So I'm going to pull up recipes. I'm going to make sure we don't butcher it. So they should be up on screen though whenever it comes time to kind of see ingredients. But so don't roast me too hard when you see me. All right, so for a whiskey sour, I need to find a spot for this ice. I'm just gonna put it in this cup for now. That's not how an actual bartender does it, but I'm not an actual bartender. All right, let's start with, it says lemon juice, but around here we don't really use lemon juice. We just use lemons or limes or what have you. So go ahead and squeeze that in there. A lot of these drinks as well too, like if it says like an ounce, we may use like a half ounce. Mainly just because we want these drinks to definitely be a whiskey or a bourbon forward. We don't want to be watering down the drinks too much. All right, and then after the teaspoon of lemon juice, we're going to do a half teaspoon of sugar. When I say sugar, I mean simple syrup. It does call for an orange slice. Stores fresh out. So we obviously have a cherry though. For this one though, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of the cherry juice in here, right, just so it gets going, and then I'm going to put the cherry right over the ice in the cup. Now it does call for a half ounce of bourbon. That's if you're making a small drink though. We don't really make small drinks around here. And I'm probably going to chill this as well. Mix all that in there.
Try out that sour mix.
Hmm?
That sour mix.
Where's that at?
It's not on there, but just try a little bit. It's kind of a combo, I think.
Oh, I see what you meant. Yeah, no, there's supposed to be a 1 ounce bourbon, 1 ounce
Lemon juice. That's
the lemon juice. If you don't like it, guess what? I'm not the one drinking this one. All right. Cherry goes over the ice. I'm going to try this first. Let you know how it is.
not bad.
Call me whiskey sour, baby. All right.
The professor said breaking my boy.
Who?
The professor.
What does this go to? Oh, the sour. What's going on, Professor? So, 2 drinks in the books. We got a few more to go. I'm going to slow down a little bit just so I can enjoy my drinks. I'm not trying to just blow through them. So, where's my drink? Again, I have an old fashioned. We just got done making the whiskey sour for the producer. A little sour, a little whiskey.
Yeah.
It's because I put that lemon wedge in there. So it was on top of that.
It's good though.
Oh, it wasn't bad. I wasn't joking.
It's different.
It is different. So
more refreshing than with a nice bourbon. It's nice.
yeah,
like
I mean,
drink.
we're kind of rolling into, spring, summer kind of vibes anyway. Winter, obviously, for most places, it's still gonna be cold for a while, but you got to get prepared. That once you have like bourbons for a while or just a bunch of old fashions, you want to switch it up anyway. You don't want to constantly just be pounding down the same thing. Sometimes your palate will get a little too acclimated to that. All right. If our producer can get us a paper towel, clean this mess up. We really don't have a paper towel right now.
We don't really have any in the house.
Let me pull this up real quick and see what else we got working here. Again, if you're in the chat, let me know where you are watching from, whether if it's from Florida, Alaska, China, wherever.
Professor said Jack and Pepsi for him tonight. 3 ice cubes, 4 shots of whiskey, and a splash of Pepsi.
That's awesome. For the, it was just Jack and Pepsi? Why Pepsi? Why not Coke? Just a splash. So he's just basically just drinking whiskey. I mean, nothing wrong with that. I do have some Basil Hayden that we're gonna try. I know Basil Hayden's been around for a while. I have yet to crack into a bottle and really kind of explore that. It's never been something I'm like, you know what, I really have to have that, you know. But everybody's been kind of hyping it up lately, and it's not a bad price. How much was this bottle?
59, I think, or 51.
51 bucks.
51 or 59, I can't remember.
It's in the 50s though.
Yeah.
Okay, well it's
They
got.
had a bigger bottle for 85.
Well, that's. I mean, they got a lot to live up to then. A $50 bottle is a $50 bottle.
Yeah, I think it was 59.
I always kind of use the example like something like an Elijah Craig or a Woodford's, or really like a Bullet for that matter. Anything along those lines are, you know, decent whiskeys, decent bourbons. So if you're gonna throw a $50 price point on something, it's got to be good, you know. So let's go ahead and pour this one up, and I will give this a little taste. I poured a big pour, comparatively. Wow. Well, I mean, right off the bat, definitely getting some heavy fruits. Maybe like a cherry or something along those lines. It actually smells really good. Like I was just kind of like talking smack that it was 50 bucks or something. But man, it's got a good smell to it. I also smell some like oak as well. Producer wants to get a good little smell in. Why don't you go ahead and give it a taste too while you're there? I mean, might as well.
Do you want my review?
I mean, you shout it out.
It's really smooth.
Smooth.
Yeah, giving her a blind taste, I think that was one out of
We have a blind reviewer giving a blind taste. The one thing that I do kind of get on like the back end is like a kind of like a peppery type of thing, maybe like a brown sugar spice. Honestly, it smells really good. Definitely smooth. I kind of expected that. I didn't get a lot of like burn in the nose. My nose for some reason always picks up like if it's about to just deep fry me a lot of times, but that was super smooth. It's definitely got a lot of like I can taste the barrel it was in, basically. So a lot of oak in it. I'm gonna stick with like the first thing. It does have like a fruit aspect to it, but that kind of gets washed away a little bit with more of like spiciness and like some pepper in there as well. But it's really good. So 51 bucks is the question is would I buy it? You guys let me know before I answer that. Have you had it? Would you buy it? We're talking Basil Hayden. The professor did say that the Coke makes it sweeter for him. So you're just basically using Coke as simple syrup for your drink, which, I mean, I appreciate that, right? How many ounces? Half ounce? It's good. That's good. I really like that. I'm gonna have to steal your bottle. I mean, it's good. I like it. The question is, though, does it make a good old fashioned?
That was my one. We can do it at the end.
Yeah, I can make you one at the end.
Yeah.
I mean, my rule of, thumb when it comes to any kind of bourbon or whiskey is, great. Is it good and neat? Perfect. Does it make a good old fashioned? Because if it doesn't make good old fashioned, I'm not keeping it in the house.
Ryan Bork says he would buy it.
Ryan Bork would buy it.
That's what he said.
Have you already bought it, and have you tried it? Is the question. What is your thoughts on it? Would you buy it for 50 bucks? This old fashioned was pretty good though. If you guys are just tuning in, we're basically just kind of hanging out on a Friday, just making some whiskey drinks. We already knocked out an old fashioned drink. We made the producer a whiskey sour, which he said was a little too sour, but for me it was perfect. We'll take a little intermission, trying some Basil Hayden. What drinks do we have next? We have a whiskey mule and a whiskey lemonade.
Kentucky Mule and a bourbon.
Oh, a Kentucky mule. Producer gets on my ass a lot, you guys. Don't let him get me.
This place is a prison.
He's forcing me to drink alcohol on a Friday night, hang out with you guys. So
There's shankles on my ankles.
you think there's not chains behind this table?
So Cody says, the professor says Coke makes it sweet for me, and Ryan goes, that's because the professor's a little sweet.
The professor is a little sweet.
He is a little sweet. The professor says, $50, think I'm going to Elijah Craig or Bullet Rye. Thoughts?
Who said that?
The professor did.
Yeah, no, I mean, so the part that we're missing, for $50 you can get this, or like $30 you can get Elijah Craig.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for the way I drink, I'm gonna pick old fashions. I mean, I'm probably picking Elijah Craig. Now, where you can kind of get into a little bit more of a debate is if you pick up like Elijah Craig, like toasted barrel, or like a single barrel Elijah Craig. Those kind of get up more along the lines of the price with this. Toasted barrel is like $80 around here. So that's where you can kind of really get into a heavy debate of what would be better price-wise versus what you actually like. I'd probably still pick the Elijah toasted barrel, but again, if I was running a little low, day before payday, would I pick it up if I had $50? I mean, I wouldn't be fighting it. So, yeah, but what I always kind of refer back to is Woodford Double Oak is like up there in the top for me. That's exactly the flavor profile that I want. So would I pick this up over Woodford Double Oak? No. And Woodford Double Oak is coming in right at this price, if not a couple bucks lower here, because it's always on sale here in Florida. Give me a few more drinks. I may change my mind though, but yeah.
Professor wants to know what's the hype on the Eagle Rare.
The hype on the Eagle Rare. I mean, when it comes to anything that's allocated, like an allocated bottle, for example, is like when everything's like super hyped up and it's just hard to get. So, you know, distilleries are going to send out like a small batch or small shipment to these, stores, and then everybody kind of bum rushes them and collects them, and you kind of run into this tidal wave. Once it's gone, you go look for it, and you tell your buddy, you're like, hey, I can't find Eagle Rare, and then he looks for it, he can't find it, and it's just a snowball effect from there. And that's why, these liquor stores are selling it for secondary markets. I had a video came out this week about Blanton's, and somebody's like, oh, $100 isn't secondary, and that's how warped the everybody's thought process is on the price of bourbon at this point, because MSRP on a bottle of Blanton's is like $65, but most people are paying like $200. So for Eagle Rare, it's even harder to find because it's made in much smaller batches. So, like an Eagle Rare 10-year, I've never even seen one. So, but I am looking for it because I do have Eagle Rare cigars. So they're sitting in the humidifier now, just waiting to be cracked open when I do get a bottle. The question, though, Professor, is do you have Eagle Rare? And if so, where are we meeting?
I'll be here in April.
April?
For the draft.
He doesn't have it.
What drink do you plan on doing next? So I know.
He said, Bork said with the, same with the Stanley cups. Yeah, I mean, they're pretty hyped up. So if you can get yourself hands on a Christmas one, wives will go nuts over this stuff. So I definitely feel that. Did anybody see the reports that came out about, I think it was the Valentine's Day Stanleys, where everybody camped outside for a cup and then they bum rushed the store? Did you see it?
No.
Bro, crazy. It looked like Black Friday. And they just had like a stand like this big of like red and pink cups, and people were like tackling people for it. It was nuts. Yeah, I dropped mine on when I went for the tackle though, but my wife carries them around like I love those memes where the guy's dressed up as his wife and he's carrying the trash can with like a giant rod in it as a straw. Those are the best.
Ryan says that because I have a Stanley.
That's your Stanley, it's not mine.
I have a black one I carry around now. Kayla got me one for
You carry a Stanley?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute. Does it match your purse?
Yes.
I get it. I see why you wanted a whiskey sour today.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so like same thing for like cigars, Professor. Like I give this example a lot because it was one of the biggest waves that I saw, um, like with shoes, right? You started with Reebok, and there's these little waves that go up and down. When Nike came about, big wave goes back down. Jordans, obviously, um, but the shoe market took off when Yeezys came about, right? Yeezys is the Kanye West shoe. When those came out, nobody could buy them, and then everybody started collecting shoes, just like how people are collecting bourbons now. Um, and what happened is like people started finding out that you can make money from it, and you put anybody that can, work a hustle in front of something that can double or triple profit, they're gonna jump on it. So people are selling shoes for 2-3 grand when you can buy them for $220 if you got them at the store. So same thing's happening with bourbon right now. There's this giant wave with everything that's coming out of the what is it called, the Buffalo Trace distillery, right? Buffalo Trace, Blanton's, Eagle Rare, Pappy, Weller, stuff like that. Like it's all coming from the same place, and because it's all under that same umbrella, everybody's rushing to the stores to buy it, which means when you go to buy it in a liquor store around your neighborhood, you're paying double the price, if not triple. There's a bottle of E.H. Taylor. MSRP is under $100. I can't remember offhand. I think it's 65 or 75, something like that. And when I went into the store, I found it for $400. I was like, I thought it was some kind of special edition that I found like a gem, but $400, they're out of their mind. Matthew says, I work for Publix, and whenever they get Eagle Rare in the liquor store, they save me a bottle, and I buy them all. Yeah, I do the same thing. I used to work for Publix, but Publix is right by my house. I got the Blantons it wasn't a Publix liquor, but it was like what they consider their liquor store because it was basically connected. But they were selling for secondary. I'd love to get my hands on an Eagle Rare. Everybody tells me it is better than Blanton's. I like Blanton's, don't get me wrong. I like to kind of crap on it a little bit just because I paid way too much for it. But I like it as much as I like Buffalo Trace. So I would much rather pick up a liter of Buffalo Trace for $39 and spend $100 on a 750 milliliter. All right, let's dive into the next drink. I think we're gonna start with the whiskey lemonade. That sounds tasty.
Bourbon lemonade.
What?
Bourbon lemonade.
Bourbon lemonade?
Yeah, let me hit the button.
It's a whiskey.
I'm drunk. I gotta go work in this.
Am I back?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. All right, guys, this drink is super complicated. So you guys are going to have to bear with me. I know if you're staying drink for drink with me, you've had an old fashioned, you've had a whiskey sour, you've had a few, taste testings, if you will. But for this one, we're going 4 ounces of lemonade, right? I don't have lemonade, so we're going 4 ounces of lemons.
Oh my god.
What?
This is gonna be awful.
It's also going to have 1 slice of lemon as like a garnish, And then, of course, we're rocking with the whiskey bourbon. What bourbon are we using for this? We're using 4 Roses for this?
Sure. Sweeten it up a little bit. Mr. Lopez says, "What's up? Cheers, ladies and gentlemen."
Mr. Lopez finally made it to a stream. Was he on it last time? I can't remember, guys. Oh, wait, it was Yamit. Yamit missed the last stream. He was giving me shit about it. Bro, I am making a mess. Just saying.
We gotta get your bar rag.
What?
We gotta get your bar rag.
So guys, if you can't tell already, for those that are just joining in, I'm not at my normal house or setup, office, whatever you want to call it. I'm at a buddy's house. We're using his setup, and here they don't like paper towels apparently, so I have to use my knee anytime I make a mess. So we're really kind of really living in it here. You know, I just realized 4 ounces. How many lemons you want me to squeeze? I can get like a half ounce.
We never eliminated the garage.
You didn't have nothing out there.
Did you look?
No, you said that. I'm gonna make a mini one because I'm not squeezing lemons for days, guys. I'm like, yeah, 4 slices is gonna be good enough. No, it's not gonna be good enough.
It's gonna be dry. But hey, put some syrup. Put some simple syrup because that's what eliminates the sugar. You're missing sugar.
You're killing me here.
You got improv. Matthew's showing 1 slice of lemon.
1 slice of lemon, guys. He's like, yeah, put some sugar in it. Oh, I'll sweeten it up.
Mr.
That's.
So save the trees.
That's awesome. The Four Roses is a single barrel though, so at least he has something good, and he does have
It's a gift from the professor.
the barrel 2C, which is not a bad barrel.
It's a gift from the professor.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't like it anymore. All right, let's see what else. There's a lot of ingredients to this one. We better have the ingredients for the next one.
We should.
The service around here sucks, guys.
I'll drink that.
Oh, will you?
Ryan goes, how does he not have paper towels? Presser goes, he's
Bro.
cheap. Ryan goes, I see that.
He's like, I want to do a stream with you. I'm like, okay, let's dial it up. I was super for it. He was a little bit against it at first. I can see why he was against it, but he didn't have paper towels.
I'm blitzed. Got me fucking hammered. Can't be doing this.
Guys, I promise the next stream.
Back to normal.
No way this is good. Just hey guys, I know we were making a video about like the top 3 drinks. We were gonna do 4 because I have an extra one. We're gonna go ahead and cross this off the list, just so you know. It's good, real good.
You can't wait.
First thing I said is these drinks need to be whiskey forward, by the way. I don't know if that was even, I don't even know if that was whiskey at that point. Or bourbon.
Mr. Lopez wants to know if you ever seen the TV show Diesel Brothers.
Diesel Brothers. I think so. What is,
Truck, I think it's a truck show.
do they like customize trucks? Is that what that is?
I think so.
Okay, here you go. It's good. It's really good. Really, really good. Amazing drink.
The whiskey sour is really good.
Yeah, the whiskey sour was good. That's like a whiskey extra sour though, just so you know. In case you were curious.
Oh, he said you look like the main guy.
I am the main guy.
Heavy D. Here,
Heavy D?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll get him pulled up.
brutal. Somebody pull a picture up, show me. Who said that, Mr. Lopez?
Hold on. Oh, you do?
Do I?
Yeah. No, go over there. I'll pull it up.
Where, how am I supposed to see
It's gonna
it?
be up there.
Okay. All right, what do we got next? All right, guys, quick little intermission while I get this set up real quick. Go ahead and hit the mule button for me.
The which one?
The mule.
Hold on. I want you to see Mr. I want to see your lookalike here.
Where's my lookalike?
He's coming up.
Producer's a little bit slower. It's his first day.
No, it's just.
Basil Hayden?
There you are, big guy.
I fucking do look like that guy. I mean, he's a little bit more like built than I am. We got the same tummy, but
Yeah, arms not so much.
my beard is way better than that.
Okay.
On a good day,
That thing's pretty slick. There's no grays in it.
I don't dye mine. Look it up. Does Heavy D
does-
dye it?
does
I got.
Heavy D dye-
I'm gonna have to
Heavy
know.
D dyed beard. I'm gonna roll a clip and then we got some more questions left for you.
Roll the clip. All right, guys. Hope you like the B-roll. Trying something a little different. Next week or the next live, we got something little bit bigger plans. So we'll
Professor says, "What's your favorite bourbon? If you can only have one bourbon for the rest of your life."
one bourbon the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Probably a bullet. Not like the bourbon bullet, just a bullet in the head. Man, that's tough because it's. Yeah, I don't know how to answer that. Like, I guess the easiest choice would be the Woodford's Double Oak because that makes the best old fashioned to me. I like the smokiness in it. It has those vanilla hints in it. It has a little bit of a chocolate note to it as well. So like a Woodford Double Oak to me is like that perfect bourbon, especially for the price. It's not a bad price on top of that. So if you look in the factor of price, taste, old fashioned making, that's right up my alley. But I do like, Buffalo Trace. I like the St. Augustine distilleries a lot. They're Florida straight bourbon when I'm trying something a little bit different. But I'm going to stick with Woodford Double Oak.
Matthew says, Eagle honestly is real good stuff. Personally, you save it for special events or family gatherings.
My special event is a day that ends in Y, though. So, Matthew, if you're saving it, don't save it around me, baby. I like to drink what I have. Like a lot of these collectors or people that like bourbon, for example, they like to kind of hold on and save their bourbons. I like to just drink the crap out of them. So, like when you guys see me do a video and it's a brand new bottle, you can best believe there's at least a quarter, if not half of it missing by the next video.
Mr. Lopez says, can't go wrong with a Russell's single barrel.
Oh yeah, no, a Russell's is pretty good too. See, that's the issue is like how many bourbons do I currently own? I can't like picking one out different from the Woodford's because Woodford's always just been my go-to. That's where it kind of gets tough because I just try so many at this point. We can use the mule for this. You want to pull up the ingredients for this one, or
Oh yeah.
make it a little easier?
Give me a sec. I'm behind the 8 ball. You're a little drunk.
The producer has had one half of a whiskey sour too many. So let's go ahead and start diving in though. He'll pull up the ingredients on the screen here in just a minute. The ingredients though is going to be a ½ ounce of fresh lime juice. So I guess we're doing half of lime. And then we're going to do we're going to top with ginger ale, a little lime wedge, and of course, 1.25 ounces, but I'm going to do 1.5 ounces of bourbon. When it comes to these kind of drinks, by the way, guys, like these are more of like, let me have a refreshing drink that includes a bourbon or a whiskey. For the most part, like you're not drinking this all day, every day, but a little summertime, it's right.
Got 11 people here.
All right, guys, if you're just popping in, we're making whiskey drinks, hanging out on a Friday with the boys. Honestly, we're just getting drunk. That's the honest answer, Was that an old comment that said save the trees?
Yeah.
That's a good one, still. Okay, so we'll go in with the ½ ounce of lime juice. From my look last time, I'm going to guess that it was probably about 3 wedges. So if you're following along with the recipe at home, done for. But you can look it up, and I can post them in the description later on. You can always come back to this video, look up the recipe that I'm actually using if you really want to get technical with it. But, really, we're just kind of having fun with it. Again, no paper towels here. We're not at the normal setup again. We're at a buddy's house. But for the most part, we're just having some fun. Again, if you guys are just popping in, let me know where you're watching from. And then also let me know what your favorite bourbons are. I'm curious on that because every time I'm at the liquor store, I'm always trying to figure out what should I get. And I need you guys to start recommending them to me because I get kind of lost when I'm in there. I just want to buy everything. I forgot the eyes. Obviously, top it with some ginger ale. This actually might be pretty good. And then, of course, because we don't have enough in there yet, a little lime wedge. I meant to put it in there, by the way, guys. It didn't just fall in there. Cheers to everybody drinking with me. You would really like this.
I'll drink it. I mean, I'm good.
Was that English? What'd you say?
Look at this.
No.
I want to fashion with my hazel though. I'm trying to choke down this whiskey or whatever this thing is.
I get, guys, if you didn't catch the New Year's Eve live stream where I just kind of popped out, hang out with you guys for just a few minutes, I kind of learned fairly quick. Like I can't be drinking fast on stream because I planned for like a 20-minute stream on New Year's Eve. So I was live for like an hour and a half just hanging out with you guys. Hammered by the end. Like obviously, like I stayed up, I drank a few more drinks, watched the ball drop, but by the end I was ready for bed. So I found you good?
I think it's a little bad.
What is?
The lemonade bourbon. It's so bad.
He's not a fan of the lemonade bourbon. Neither am I. As soon as we figured out we were making a lemonade bourbon and didn't have lemonade, I knew there was an issue. So, you know, sometimes you get to work, check the bar, it's not fully stocked. That's basically what happened today. What you want me to do with that?
My old fashioned with hazel.
Oh, you want an old fashioned?
We close that. We're never in a rush.
Just could use a little bit more bourbon, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't fight anybody on it. Let me pop back in here real quick.
We want to do NFL predictions for the last week of the season? Give me
No.
your picks.
No. Last time I brought up NFL in here, everybody,
We won't bring up.
I brought out the Bills fans.
We won't bring up the last game. We'll just do everything.
I'm not doing that. We don't do sports here. We go to your channel for sports. I'm going to put this one down. We're going to make old fashions again. This time we're going to test out that Basil Hayden. So we can actually see if it's worth the $50 live here on stream. I got to clean some of this stuff off though. You want a maraschino cherry? You want the actual cherry?
No,
I know you like Shirley Temples and all that, so. You want lemon or lime in it?
Mr. Lopez's Dolphins suck.
Mr. Lopez is the Bills fan from last time. Yeah, he's a huge Dolphin fan, if you didn't know. He's watching the game. Oh, you saw how the Miami game got bumped to a primetime game?
Yeah, it's against the Bills. So,
Dolphins and Bills
I
for
know we're not
the...
talking sports, but you know if they beat the Bills may not make the playoffs at all.
Good, yeah. That's the point.
AFC's wild.
Yeah, Miami's locked their playoff spot in, whether if it's wild card or whatever, but... You saw Tua made the
Pro Bowl?
Pro Bowl?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he had the most votes.
So did Jalen.
He made his second team.
Oh, second team.
Yeah.
Ryan disagreed with that vote. What do you say to that?
Ryan disagreed with what?
Jalen making the Pro Bowl. We talked about it at work.
Oh. I mean,
He's being a hater.
he doesn't know anything about football. All right, guys. Let's make some old fashions, right? Also, if you guys are watching the stream currently, let me know what kind of old fashioned you guys are drinking on now. If you're drinking old fashioned, of course. If not, just let me know what you're drinking on. Besides the professor, he's drinking like Pepsi and a little bit of whiskey or bourbon. All right, let's go ahead and start with the simple syrup.
Not said drunk already.
Drunk already?
Mm-hmm.
He is drunk already, or we're drunk already?
He said I'm drunk. Me and him.
Was that?
He said I'm drunk. Like not me, but him.
Oh, okay. You can pull it up on screen and make it a lot easier for me.
Okay.
Yeah, now if you're already drunk, I mean, pull yourself up an old fashioned, my guy. Shelton is already drunk, the producer for the show, today's show. This show is sponsored by Lightweights. Should have had an ad read for it, you know? Again, if you're new, obviously you know how we make old fashions. Or you don't know how we make old fashions. We like to use two different kind of bitters. Nat says, I'm drunk already. Yeah, just do that. It's a lot easier. You trying to like translate these pieces like you know, off the deep end here. All right. Where's my little pour thing? I don't like this little guy. He hides too easy. Let's get that there. Almost dropped it. And half piece. Basil Hayden Old Fashioned. What do you guys think this is going to be? You think it's going to be good? I did like it neat, so I mean, you never know though. Sometimes an Old Fashioned, some bourbons just don't work in an Old Fashioned. Just poured, Mr. Lopez just poured some Larceny Barrel Proof. Oh, man, I almost bought that today. I'd be drinking it here, right here with you, but I bitched out, to be honest. We don't have any ice for you, so you're getting crushed ice for an Old Fashioned. That's gonna sway the vote here. Professor said I have to bring you a couple local stuff when I come down. Where's he at again? Michigan? Indiana? He's a Lions fan, right? Packers fan?
He's a Lions fan.
Bears fan?
He's a Lions fan.
A Lions fan, yeah.
He's a Vikings.
I know. Yeah, I don't know what they have up there, but I mean, obviously, yeah. Definitely let me know. Like, if they have anything good up there that's like, you know, local to the area that's like their specialty, yeah, I'm all for it. You know, for work, I get to travel quite a bit where I get to go to like North Carolina, Savannah, Georgia, South Carolina, places like that pretty frequently. So when I go through there, I'm going to obviously try to pick up a few bottles that are more, you know, to that area. You know, not the stuff I can just pick up here. The C923 is pretty damn good. Can't argue with that. That's really good. I don't know if I put too much cherry in it, but thoughts?
Oh god, so much better than that whiskey lemonade.
Here. How's the Old Fashioned?
It's much better than the whiskey lemonade. It's pretty sweet. I think you did put a lot of cherry.
I think I put just a.
Did you put any bourbon in it?
Yeah, I put quite a bit of bourbon in there. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine anything you're drinking right after that whiskey lemonade is probably magical. Professor said, "Oh, you're getting Canadian Mist now." I mean, I can't say I don't deserve it. Angels Envies, what's your take on them? You gotta pull it up. I can't read this. It's too small.
Oh, I just had it up there. It's because it's a little delayed.
Says, Angels Envy, what's your take on the newer company to bourbon? My local cigar shop has an exclusive with them. So to be honest, Angels Envy is not a small company by any means. Most stores I go to, they have their own barrel pick for an Angels Envy. And I like Angels Envy, right? But it's got to be that right time, the right mood. But for the most part, like the bottles are hit or miss, right? I could go to Total Wine and pick up a bottle that will blow my socks off. But if I go to, for example, like a Publix liquor, not to like crap on Publix or anything like that, but like if they had a barrel pick and I try that, it could be completely different. So for me, and they're not cheap. And that's kind of where like, again, I don't risk my money like that. You know, one bottle fine, I'll keep it on the shelf. Mr. Lopez says, what cigar would you recommend for a non-smoker? Absolutely the perfect cigar if you don't like smoking too much. Acids. They have this blue little label on it. The reason why I say that is because, one, it's a good smoking cigar, but also the wrapping on the outside. I'm not technical with cigars. I just like a good cigar. So if you're here for cigar reviews, I'm not that guy. But acids, they have this like flavoring on the wrap. So after you take a hit, you can kind of like taste it on your lips. It is delicious. It's really the only cigar that like, if I was going to smoke a cigar every day, it would be that one. hands down.
They're cheap too.
They're also fairly cheap. They're not going to break the bank. Like I spent $80 on the Eagle Rare cigars. I haven't even opened them yet. So like the acids, you can get they have a multiple like different sizes. You get like a real fat one, a real skinny one, long one, short one. You can also get ones that are like the size of cigarettes too. I don't necessarily recommend those too much, but they are good. Like we took them to Vegas, and because for Vegas, unless you have a balcony suite, like you're not smoking a whole cigar. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how drunk are you? How drunk is your producer? The camera's in the way. I can't see it. 1 to 10. I mean, I'm gonna have to really think on that. How drunk do you think you are? No.
6, 7.
Yeah, at least 7. Buddy's missing buttons. Did you even roll the B-roll for the mule? Roll the button for the mule. You put the work into it, so go ahead.
No, I did. We'll roll for a little fashion though.
He put the work in for the B-roll, so we're gonna roll it when it's time. Mr. Lopez also says, "Is it like a Swisher Sweet?" No, it's not like a Swisher Sweet. Swisher Sweets are gross. Like, to me, a Swisher Sweet is like, I don't know how to explain them. Those are cheapo, like, nasty tasting cigars. An acid is more of like, you feel like you're smoking a cigar, right? And it has way better flavors. But it's a lot of sweetness to it too, like on like the taste on your mouth afterwards. So it's really not bad. Honestly, I would go like Total Wine. They have those big like cigar rooms. Just go in there and look for anything that says acid with a blue label. Just pick up one, try it, and then you can let me know what your thoughts are. I can almost guarantee you're gonna like it. Unless you just hate cigars. If you hate cigars, then I don't know. This old fashioned's for me, guys, by the way. The producer is not, I mean, he's half asleep at this point. I just realized all my cups are being filled up. Dun, dun, dun. But yeah, again, guys, we're going to wrap it up here soon, but again, let me know down below what bourbons do you want to see me review, or what bottles do you want to recommend to me real quick, because I am headed to the liquor store tomorrow. Maybe I do like a bourbon hunting video. I know everybody's kind of doing that. To be honest, like I'm not a fan of like the way they do it. So they just kind of point their camera towards the the aisles, and I'm sure some people appreciate that. It's a lot of editing work just to not talk to people. So for me, it's not like my cup of tea, but if you guys want to see that, I can always kind of test it out. I can try my hand at it. Also, follow-up question. Who saw either the Blanton's video or what was the other video that I posted today?
Mitcher?
Oh, the Mitchter's just bourbon, Kentucky straight bourbon. The B-roll on that. Somebody give me some thoughts here, because that took some work. Are you behind my guy on the comments?
They're just talking about cigars themselves. So
I gotcha.
Cody, Mr. Lopez, and a love affair about Swisher Sweets and cigars. I didn't think you went to dive into that.
No, I'm not a fan. So like, not to like dive too deep on the childhood, but like obviously back in the day I used to smoke cigarettes, right? And when I was like super poor, instead of buying a pack of cigarettes, I can afford $1 Swisher Sweet, you know? Or what were the other ones? What's the wood tip wine? What is that called?
thought the Swiss Sweets were wood tips.
No, those are
Swiss?
Swisher Sweets are like what people use to like roll up joints with.
I know the one you're talking about. I thought those were Swiss Sweets too. It has a wood tip on it, right? Like a little whistle tip.
Yeah, no, we're talking about the same thing.
Yeah,
But
I don't know what it's called though.
yeah, but yeah, I used to buy that stuff and just smoke that instead.
Professor has a question. He says, it just takes a minute for you to see. It's the problem. He says, can we do a cigar and whiskey review when I'm down, when he's down? Hit me up.
Yeah, you just gotta let me know what you want to do before. You're coming April. The question is gonna be is what bottle are we doing and what cigars are we doing? What I'm hoping, if you like cigars, what I'm hoping to do is find some Pappy cigars, and I'm gonna try and find a bottle of Pappy's to go with it. I think that would be
Black and mild.
Black and mild is, yeah, of course Nat knows.
Nat and Professor got it.
Yeah, Black and milds are back in the day is like all I smoked.
Of course, Nat arrives in the chat.
That's like, I'm here, Black and mild, baby. Bro, back in the day, that used to save my ass though. Can we do a cigar review? I'm down. My humidor is full. Well, I mean, what do you got, my guy? I'm here. I'm down for whatever. But I am trying to get a Pappy cigar and a bottle of Pappy's to go with it. I think that would make a pretty good kind of combo. Just like the Eagle Rare cigars and a bottle of Eagle Rare. Again, just try it out, you know? Also, I would just want a bottle of Pappy.
Cody said I'll bring the cigars. You can't see my comment. I said I'll bring your mom.
I can see it. What are you doing? I'll bring the cigar. Yeah, Mr. Lopez is saying he smoked the wood tips. Wood tip wines was always the go-to. Man, but they would smell your clothes all the way up. All right, what time is it?
We're at 10:23.
10:23.
An hour.
Yeah, about an hour stream, which isn't bad. Again, guys, obviously, if you're watching and you're not subscribed, definitely just hit the subscribe button. What are we doing? We're gonna be at 1,000 before you know it, so I'm not. You might as well just hop on now. What does it used to be? The hype train? Is that what it was called?
Yeah, we're the
You guys, if you know, you know. If you don't, I can't explain it to you. So, but there you have it. Let me know what your thoughts are on the video. Which drink are you going with? Are you going with the old fashioned, old faithful here, or are you going with the whiskey lemonade that we made? Because I'm not going with that. Sheldon, the producer, he's going with the whiskey lemonade every time he said. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down, guys. So. Let me check the comments one last time. Cool, perfect. All right, guys. Like videos like this, like, subscribe, do all that jazz, and I will see you guys on the other side. Peace.